What's up, guys? This is Max with Metal and Iron Fitness, and today I'm going to ask a question I've been seeing a lot, and it's a pretty simple question. It's how to lose fat effectively or just lose weight in general. This is a pretty common question. It kind of even ties into how to get like abs, six pack, whatever. And I'm going to list some general principles and tips that are going to really help you get there. Not all these little tiny, you know, eat this, eat that. We're talking about just core pillars, right? Things that just general principles. So, number one, and the most important, eat in a calorie deficit, all right? You're not going to lose weight unless you're eating in a calorie deficit, period. That's just how it is. And what is a calorie deficit? A calorie deficit is you're eating less food than your body is burning through the day. So you're giving your body less food than it needs, and that way your body is eating up fat, hopefully, and usually a little bit of muscle too, but hopefully we're going to optimize that fat loss instead of eating up some muscle, right? And again, that's the most important general principle. It's less important what you're eating and more important how much food you're actually eating. You could be eating complete junk and you can lose weight. People do it all the time. It's extremely common. So that is very important. Number two, and this goes with the calorie deficit. If you are in a calorie deficit, this kind of also depends on how high your body fat percentage is. You don't want to be cutting calories too fast. There's a million calculators online which will show you basically what you should be eating in that calorie deficit. You put in your information, it spits out a number. So I would start eating around this calorie limit. I would eat there for about a week or two. After about a week or two, if you're not losing weight, I would cut 100 to 300 calories, let's say, and maybe more depending on how high your body fat is. But for now, let's be more on the moderate side. And if I was if I continued to lose weight, I'd keep eating the same number of calories until I stall. There's no reason to take out calories if you're still losing weight. You're doing the most you can do for the smallest response, if that makes sense. You don't want to take out calories when you're still losing weight. It doesn't make any sense. You can still get a response from the dose you're giving yourself, so stick with that. And again, it's pretty much, if you stall, take out calories, but you just don't want to do it too quickly, because after a while, if you start cutting calories too fast, 500 here, 500 there, where do you go from there? Before you know it, you're eating fucking 500 calories a day? That's not enough to sustain a human being. You're going to be fucking emaciated and just lacking proper nutrition. So you want to cut calories really slow. And this kind of even brings me to my next point, really, which is you're a lot better off adding in more activity than cutting a bunch of calories. So rather than cutting, 1,000 calories total, let's say on your diet, you ended up cutting 1,000 to 1,500 calories of food out from what you were eating before. You could add in 800. You could burn 800 calories with exercise, and that way you're eating that much more, and you're getting that much more nutrients into your system, and you're a lot better off doing it that way. Because, like I said, where do you go once you get so low on calories? It with a lot of exercise and increasing activity, it gives yourself a higher ceiling for calories. So that's more of a tip. I mean, you don't have to do that, obviously, but that's going to make your weight loss a lot more effective. Not to mention, it's going to help you burn more fat, And of course, I'm going to recommend if trying to preserve whatever muscle mass you already have. So I would recommend more like high intensity interval training. Maybe I've done that in the past. I liked that. Or more like farmer walks, sled pulls, whatever, pushing a prowler, stuff like that, where it's almost like resistance training, because it's going to be that much more effective at keeping whatever muscle you already have on your frame. All right. And my last point, and this is just mostly, this applies to not only your diet when you're trying to lose weight, but your training in general, is compliance and consistency are the keys, right? If you can't be compliant with the diet you're eating, you're not going to lose weight. It's not going to be as effective as possible. And if you're not consistent, again, it's not going to be as effective as possible. That's why I say you're better off eating shitty foods that you are already eating that you like, and maybe slowly trying to work in healthier foods over time, rather than saying, I'm going to just, I'm switching my diet completely to this. I'm going to eat less calories. I'm going to work out 5-6 days a week. It's be realistic and make small adaptations over time. Instead of that, say, hey, I'm going to cut off, 300 calories this week. Even if you start dieting, you don't have to jump into a deficit immediately. You can slowly work your way into a deficit and make those smaller adaptations. Your body's going to like that a lot better. The body doesn't respond very well to extreme adaptation. It takes a lot longer to adapt to something extreme than these small little things where you barely even notice it, right? So, if you're not exercising at this point, start exercising 1 or 2 days a week. Start going for walks, maybe a jog. Anything is better than nothing, right? So compliance and consistency, and just everything I've kind of said, small adaptations over time. Don't overwhelm yourself with a bunch of activity and a crazy caloric deficit and all these new foods immediately. Know yourself and make these small changes over time. All right. I hope that helps, guys. This is the same kind of stuff I used to diet down. I was very successful at it. Didn't lose much muscle, didn't lose much strength. I got to a really low body fat percentage doing it. So I hope that helps, guys. Later.